Hi, Exxon J15.
Well,
Hello!
I'm going to get yelled at tomorrow.
For what? Because I was gonna yell at her. She used to stay in her own lane. Holy crap, what was that?
It's me saying that making fun of something that you don't like that somebody doesn't mean that you're being racist is apparently allowing people to have, like, apparently microaggression to people or something. And it just kept being like, he does this to marginalized people all the time, and I'm like, I've watched a lot of his videos, and a lot of the drama that people say he has made fun of people is usually just dumb shit. I don't know the specific situation. I haven't seen the video. I heard about it vaguely, but I don't care enough to look into it.
Just so you know, the stream's on. Do you want me to turn it off?
No, it's whatever.
I was just checking. Like, what about PewDiePie? Like, really? Like, what? Like,
Apparently he made a video making fun of a TikTok person who was deaf, and basically, when she signs and she has like a really long acrylics, and he doesn't like the sound. So he was like making fun of the sound being really loud or something. And then because
sounds like a tasteless joke, but not like the worst thing. I mean, rude, but like, yeah.
I personally think that there's bigger problems than not liking that somebody's acrylic is loud.
Yeah, like, I'm just like, I'm not sure I'd say I don't think the social outrage maybe warrant.
The part that she was upset about was the fact that apparently he was mocking her deaf accent or something, which I didn't see the video, so I was like, I don't know if that's true. I didn't see the video. And she's like, he has a history of doing this to other people and constantly disrespecting them. And he's arrogant enough to say that he doesn't have to make YouTube videos to make money anymore, and yet he still makes videos. And I was like,
so
is that arrogant? Just to state that you don't have to make YouTube videos?
He's probably
made videos for 8 years.
But he's probably right. Also, he doesn't necessarily have to. He just does it because he enjoys. Like, also, I just like how just sounds like an eat the rich situation because she doesn't like him because he's successful. But I heard her speak. It's just what that sounded like to me.
She's never even watched any of his videos, and then you heard her, and she was just like, "What? Have you seen every single video he's ever posted?" And I went, "No."
Yeah, did you hear me? I said, have you? Which sister was that? Pastor Pestilence.
Pestilence.
I knew it.
My other sister's really not.
I can't see Plague doing that. Pestilence though sounded like Pestilence.
I just don't. And then she was just like, "You're pan. Like you're supposed to like advocate for like against people that are problematic."
What does you being pan have anything to do with? That has nothing to do with the conversation, though. Like,
Josh, whenever you find out, please let me know because I don't know either.
No, this is Twitter. This is Twitter thinking that just because like we've decided that we are marginalized groups and every marginalized group must defend every other marginalized group. Also, we may not actually be marginalized as much as we think, but we're going to be for the situation. There are so many issues that are actually important right now. I'm not worried about what stupid thing PewDiePie did. Like, really? Like, that's what you're worried about. You think that's the earth-shaking issue today? Is Let's Players on YouTube? Really? Or
I also just thought it was really silly.
This is the hill we're gonna die on today. Okay.
She kept being like, he did this, he did that. He has a history of doing this, and I'm like, well, I've seen a lot of the videos he's made, and I don't remember.
He did the most horrible thing I ever heard him say. He made it. It was an attempt at dark humor, but it totally fell flat, even for me. Was he made a Holocaust joke a long time ago?
Oh yeah, he literally. I think it was like he wanted to see how much it was like he did like a social experiment thing where he was like how much horrible things can you make somebody do, like for a cheap amount of money on like Fiverr, and then somebody actually like he was laughing because he didn't think that somebody would actually like make a sign like saying like the Holocaust isn't real. It was something like that. Like he was like, I genuinely didn't think that they would actually do something.
I'm not even talking about that. I was talking about
that's what I know about.
There was another time before it was during a Let's Play, and he made a joke about, it was, you know, one of his random spiels where he just talks. It's something about Jews and Holocaust. I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was very, very offensive. But he, you know, it wasn't like, he obviously was just trying to joke and make a bit of dark humor, but it fell flat and people got really mad about that, which I get. That that's fair. This just sounds like, listen, the second anyone said TikToker, I'm like, I'm out. I'm out of this conversation. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sure she's a nice girl. I don't care. Ask my girlfriend. You want to talk about TikTok? As for me, it's not my field. Not my circus. Not my monkeys. Anyway, hi stream. I know I'm streaming late. There's probably won't be many people here, but you know, whatever. It's all Addie's fault.
It's all my fault, absolutely.
To be fair, you're never around during the day. Hi, John C. Well, other than that, how have you been?
Not good.
Oh. I'm sorry.
It is okay. I got back into Genshin Impact, which is
I noticed you were posting
not my wisest decision, but
if it's fun, it's fun. Is it fun, or is it?
Oh, I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Oh, good. Well, there you go. That's all. That's all that matters.
I don't know why I decided to play Valorant.
I don't know why you did that either.
Bad idea.
Not that I'm gonna judge, but you know. You know how I feel about it.
I thought it was gonna be relaxing.
Okay, now I can't. Now I can't understand that at all. Like even from a perspective.
Because sometimes
It's an FPS. How is that relaxing? An FPS has never relaxed me. Not in any situation. I've never played an FPS to relax.
I played FPS is just chill out, like at the end of the day. And it's not really stressful. It's more of just outside stress has no longer made this stressless.
Uh-oh. I'm being summoned. Uh-oh. There's a tiny voice in my ear. Yeah, why? Yeah, hold on a second. Addie, I'll be right back. There is an issue occurring as of now that I believe I need to attend to.
All good?
You quick, entertain the masses with your
God,
magical powers of...
Put me on this shit. What kind of magical powers? What, I look like the Winx?
You're the only girl here, so you must be. You're welcome!
That's how it works! I heard you guys like trades. I don't... Listen. I play video games. I don't know anything about trains. I don't even know what Josh is playing right now. I should open his stream and look at what he's playing right now. History game, I think. Okay. So how's everybody doing? Josh should never stick me to be a host for something I don't know what I'm hosting ever again, by the way. Just to be clear, this is a terrible idea.
Oh, okay, I'm back. I forgot to pause the game. Of course I did. Addie, you there?
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit better. Thanks for asking. Okay. The heck was I doing? Ugh, that's a lot of typing for Valorant.
It's not Valorant.
Oh, okay. Do I want to know?
I don't know if I can actually even say.
Fair.
But literally, because I'm in this mess because somebody overheard things.
Vague.
I'll tell you later off stream.
Sure, sounds good.
Oh, I forgot to actually mention. If you want to know the context, I actually pinged you in the voice chat VC.
Oh. In that case, I will look there.
I forgot that I sent that, like, 15 minutes ago.
Voice chat VC. This was a while ago, I take it?
No, like if you hover over, actually, I'll just copy it over into voice chat VC. I forgot that, like, the new built-in ones are kind of weird.
Does she know that I have long and for many a moon referred to her as Pestilence?
I want you to know that I am trying to make sure she never hears of that nickname.
Oh, okay. She doesn't know that. Fair enough.
No.
Okay.
Do you know how much they would lose their mind if they knew that?
She'd probably even go on Twitter about it. My God.
Yeah. And this is my life. Recently.
I am sorry if I am making it worse somehow.
You are not.
I'm just checking.
Huh?
I'm just checking.
I'm just tired of roller coasters.
I don't even like roller coasters.
I used to like them, and ever since my life has been one, you know. You know, Katy Perry was talking about how her life is a roller coaster. Like, bro, get me off of this Katy Perry song. I don't want to be on it anymore.
Is your allegory for this a Katy Perry song? You remember who you're talking to, right?
Yeah. And you know, just full stop. If I have to deal with family ever again, it would be too soon. And this can be honest, it's whatever. It's just life. I can't believe somebody named you. I can't believe somebody said Dracnus to you. By the way,
people misspell that. I mean, he did correct himself.
Well, he did, but now I'm just thinking Dracnus the Curse. Like not even Dracnus the Curse. Like Dracnus sounds like an edgy as fuck, like dragon or something. I think my sister, like, the other one, she had, like, a pet in World of Warcraft that she had named, like, Drakfang or something. It's edgy as shit in my life.
Say Drakfang.
It's a pretty cool name, honestly. All things considered. Considering my naming choices when I was that age was, like, lights music, you know?
I liked it. It was very cute.
I don't.
I bet you don't.
What is this Valorant game? Everybody is missing every shot. Holy shit, I just witnessed like 30 bullets come out of like 4 different people and nobody died. And that's when you know you're really hard stuck in like iron.
I have good news.
What?
Well, I mean, I guess it's good news dependent, very, very dependent on the kind of person you are.
Okay.
So I'm playing Hearts of Iron 4, which is basically a World War II.
I went on your stream when you left because I didn't know what game you're playing, and I went, "It's a history thing."
It is.
And that was all I was able to gather.
That's fair. It's a grand strategy game. Grand. That's it. So it's very intensive.
What the hell is grand, man?
It's like Stellaris.
Ah. Okay.
Levels of intricate.
Okay. I noticed Stellaris is complicated.
Yeah. Hearts of Iron 4, very much in the same vein, except instead of space, World War II. Anyway, my country, America, has just unlocked the secret of nuclear bombs.
Oh no.
It's worth mentioning that Japan has not surrendered at this time.
Oh my god. Careful. careful, Josh.
We must.
You're gonna land on TikTok.
We must bring an end to this brutal conflict.
You're gonna.
This is historical fact. That's what happened. No amount of Twitter, TikTok, frickin' liberal nonsense.
You made a joke about Hiroshima.
I didn't make a joke about it. This is a simple fact. We were either going to have to get into an island invasion of Japan, which would have killed way more people, or convince them to surrender by a display of unspeakable power. We did the latter, and you know what? It worked.
The way you're describing it is just like it was an act of political sacrifice, bombing people.
War is ugly. Many people died. More people died in the fire bombings of Tokyo, but everyone's always on about the nukes because of the whole Cold War thing, which that's fair. But
I'd be considered Japanese's war crimes.
There's that, and the fact that everyone's on us. If the shoe was on the other foot, do you really think the Japanese military wouldn't have bombed our cities? That is a serious question.
Full stop. Transparent. I'm really fucking bad at history. I wouldn't know.
Yes! You have any idea what they did to China's cities? Oh my god! Like...
The only reason why I say I don't know if they would is because geographically how difficult it probably would have been to pull off.
That's why they never did.
Even if they had the ability to, they probably wouldn't be able to execute it very well, if at all.
That's the only reason they weren't able to do it, is because they didn't have the technical means nor the ability to push us back far enough to attack our west coast. But if they could have, they absolutely would have. Because everybody attacked everybody. It was World War II. Everyone bombed everybody's cities. Not saying I like that, because I don't think anyone liked that. Duh. But
yeah. What is Howell saying? Russia will too. I hope. I don't know what he's referencing. I don't like the "I hope" comments.
Yeah, I don't know what he's referring to. I definitely want some further context before we establish any further conversation regarding that particular, given current world events. Just doing me a concern with that. I think you understand where I'm at.
Yeah.
Addy, you're on the same page.
Yeah,
we definitely.
I was like, I'm concerned about what this means. I don't want to assume. It could be worded poorly.
Or it could be worded poorly. He might just be referring to the fact that Russia is bombing Ukrainian cities, which, yes, I mean technically they'd be missile strikes these days, but same energy.
Same energy.
It is. I mean, it's still.
Whenever I think of same energy, I think of like TikTok girls being like, "Same vibe, girl, same vibe." I don't know why. It just comes so wrong when you think of it that way. You can't invite me to the history streams, so I'm just gonna make everything a TikTok.
Everybody. Sorry, I was picturing. This is horrible. Picturing Lady Liberty being like, Russia, same vibe with those missiles. Like, no.
Holy shit.
No. That's a bad thought, brain. No, that is.
Oh my god.
Shame on me for that. People are dying.
Shame on me. I mean, first of all, fuck that whole conflict. I'm glad we are helping Ukraine. But TikTok has ruined, any basic linguistic usage of any word ever, basically. And it turned basically everything into a meme that I have a hard time taking seriously.
TikTok has oversimplified everything to the point that nothing means anything anymore.
It's so funny to go on TikTok and see people, spread the most wildest amount of misinformation. I've met people
Oh my
who
god,
are
it's a freaking disaster.
I've met people who are like, I got my stock advice from TikTok's, stock trader gurus, and I go, absolutely why? Like, just in any world, why would you take some random guy on?
Yeah, they
TikTok
told
and
me
be
to
like,
invest in
"That guy?"
NFTs. Speaking of NFTs, if you click in the description right now, you can actually invest in my new NFTs. They're called...
Dink Doink.
Yes.
You know, Dink Doink is an actual NFT thing, right?
Whatever.
Actually, it's actually crypto.
Well, what we're gonna call...
made a crypto called Dink Doink.
We're gonna call it Dark. The Dark NFT is now available for sale. You can click on it's right next to the link next to the donate button. You're not actually donating though. You're investing for real. Definitely, probably, maybe, no. Send your money now. Anyway. But yeah, you know, like the whole thing. People like it's. She still hasn't told me how much she made. My girlfriend is a major TikToker. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Major? Like how many? Like.
By major as in she's totally into it, not as in she's mega popular.
How about to be like? Are you dating like Charlie D'Amelio or some shit?
No.
I'm
by
Babe, I'm getting there though. I'm TikTok famous, then I can quit my job, and I can pay all the bills. What do you think?
I think I will actually literally cry if you become more popular than me on there compared to what I'm trying to do on YouTube. I will actually walk in front of a speeding train.
Oh my god!
I just want you to know that. Anyway,
Can't you share the fame?
no. Anyway, but she does these like little battles where people pay money to send like taps and bonus taps and shit, and it's like a tug of war between two people on a live stream on TikTok. But they pay real money for this, and the streamers get the money for the battle. And I don't know how much she made today, but yesterday she made over $100 doing this shit.
Why does it sound like You Now but newer? Because You Now was like that too. It was like You Now was like Twitch, but
Why?
random like YouTubers to.
Why would anybody hunt you down for? Oh my god, this woman made $100 on TikTok. We have to hunt her down. How dare she? That doesn't even pay one of my bills. It's not that much money. It's just really interesting to me. I mean, I'm sure there's streamers on TikTok that make thousands a day. I'm crying. This is the world we live in. It's all Addie's fault.
Excuse me.
It's your generation. You did this.
I
This
don't
wasn't.
claim that
You.
energy. I don't claim that energy.
This is not. This is not on my people. It is on your people. You gotta check yourselves about this, okay?
Well, your people helped overturn Roe v. Wade, so you shouldn't fucking be talking shit right now.
We are not that old. Okay, you know that. That's Gen X. You talk to them. How dare you throw that in our faces as if we had anything to do with it?
This tells me that my geography is really bad because I'm looking at this and I'm like, no fucking concept of where this is on the map at all. Oh, now I know where it is. Okay, you moved a little bit to the left. Okay. For some reason, I was just like looking at this blankly, like, where the fuck is, like, where are you? Like, in the world on your game map.
These are the Philippines. That's Australia.
Oh yeah, no, like, I said this before you had turned more to the left, where I saw that. It was just like a bunch of, like, Hawaii Ridge, and I was like, I'm assuming this is all water? I was like, I think?
Yeah, this is the Pacific Ocean.
I didn't. Oh my god, this is gonna sound such an idiot. I didn't know like the Pacific Ocean had a bunch of like sections that are all named something different.
Well,
it's all just one thing to me.
Yes, it has to be mapped somehow. You think they just go, they just cast off and go?
Well, I think it's more of the fact that, like, I guess common sense would make that make sense. But if you're not into boats, you don't really think of that, or like it's not something that you think about, like, day to day to remember something like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess, I suppose. How's this game work? Well, it's a grand strategy game where you take control of really any country you want during the years of World War II, and control every element of their military and some of their political things, and there is some relevant historical events, but it doesn't have to go the way history tells the story all the time, such as it's possible to nuke someone other than Japan, like Germany or Poland, which is now in German territory. And, I'm just saying that maybe these German troops are in my way. It's one of those things, and I don't necessarily want to resort to this sort of thing, but when you have a nuke, and there's a big red button right there, how can you not sit back and push it?
Because so many other
Give it a second. There we go.
your son wants you. Baby. Hold on, he's coming.
I may have nuked part of Germany.
He's coming.
Bug?
I'll be back.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to go say goodnight to my son. He decided he wanted to go to bed.
Oh.
He has corona.
Oh
Yeah. He's very sick. He's alright, but, he's not alright.
no! Is he vaccinated? I mean,
No.
how old can you be to get vaccinated?
He can, but we've been having a hell of a time getting him scheduled. It's hard to find. It's just.
I'm
this
sure
is-
it's probably hard to find slots for kids.
Yeah, spaces fills up fast, is what it is. So. What's that you said?
He's sure I'm not sending it to another person.
I didn't drop a second nuke.
He was what?
I don't know why anyone would think that.
What do you mean by that? I'm just making sure.
I mean, Nuremberg kind of got wiped off the map, but that's not really the point.
Get it?
That could have been anybody.
No. And I sent a picture.
Certainly wouldn't be me. I don't appreciate you, throwing these accusations at me. In your silence. But who would nuke Italy? That seems woefully unnecessary. Oh, it was me again! Addie, are you there? Oh, you are there. Man, you've been quiet.
Sorry, I'm just scrolling through Twitter.
You missed all my hilariously inappropriate jokes about my new ability to use nuclear power.
Jokes? Logging on to the TikTok right now.
I know.
Jokes in high Christian stream.
We don't joke here.
Absolutely not. Anyway.
God doesn't joke. Actually, I'm pretty sure he does. I think God would like humor. That's my guess.
Didn't God literally tell somebody to just show their devotion to kill their son, and they're about to kill their son? And he was like, "Hey, oh no, I just playing. I wanted to see."
Okay. So everyone takes that story completely out of context. As someone who was taught it and read it, and so here's what happened. Abraham and his wife really wanted a kid. But they thought they were too old. But God says I'm gonna give you a son. In fact, I'm gonna give you many sons. But the first one is gonna be named Isaac. And sure enough, he and his wife had a kid, and they named him Isaac. And Isaac was young, and then God was like, "So I gave you Isaac. I'm gonna need you to sacrifice Isaac to me." And Abraham was like, "I don't want to do that, but it's God, so I have to." So he brought Isaac up on the mountain and was about to getting everything ready. And then all of a sudden an angel came down and was like, "Wait, no, don't do that. God just wanted to make sure you were truly loyal to him. Do not actually kill your son."
The man literally said, that is still pretty funny. Even in context.
I concede your point, but the whole point of the story was that we can't completely understand God's intentions until sometimes much later. Also, he did totally keep his word to Abraham, and he and his wife had a whole bunch of kids.
Okay.
Everyone's on Old Testament God for sometimes being a jerk, but he kept his promises. Usually. Especially when Egypt didn't listen to him. Moses said, "God wants you to let my people go." No. God's gonna get really mad at you. We don't care. Okay. Would you like some frogs? How many frogs? All of them. All of them! Hitler still has not surrendered. Do you know what happened to Prague because Hitler didn't surrender? Nothing in actual history. I mean, certainly not a well-placed nuclear explosion. I don't know why you'd think that that would happen in this alternate reality I've created.
Yeah,
Except for the giant explosion that may have...
right now.
It may have been something that I did.
Just right now.
That may be a thing that occurred. There may be a rather notable mushroom cloud over Prague as we speak. But he kind of asked for it, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't think even Twitter could argue with the notion that Hitler was kind of asking for it. Okay? I think that's actually a very fair statement that most people would concede is absolutely factual.
True.
Good evening, Samu. Welcome to my very tactical, very I'm sorry, I won't even make a joke like that. I'm just gonna say this is the reason why you should not give absolute power to the hands of a mortal man like me. Alright, this is what I'm trying to say. Like, you cannot give the level of unspeakable destruction to normal people, because normal people make very rash decisions about where to explode their nuclear bombs. And maybe some of those times you shouldn't have exploded them at all. Like in the Pacific Ocean when we were testing in Bikini Atoll, or Nevada, or the Marshall Islands, or
literally any time North Korea tests them ever.
yes. I still cannot believe the Soviets gave them those.
You know, we all make bad decisions sometimes, question mark?
Listen, we never gave our nukes to anybody for a reason. And they're like, hey, North Korea, do you want some nukes?
North Korea was like, oh man, you know, like, if you don't mind. We're like, yeah.
Now,
nothing could go wrong.
Now, in absolute fairness, everyone worries about them having them. But to be realistic these days, those missiles probably wouldn't even work. I mean, they're old for one, but as in, like, their range is minimal. But also, like, North Korea, no one really thinks they would have had the means to maintain that kind of equipment. So it's unclear if they even have. Like, everyone assumes they do, but for one... But
I mean, they test them every now and then, but it's like...
They test the missiles. There's a difference between a nuclear ICBM launching and detonating.
Missile. Yeah, missile. Yeah,
you know... And their Air Force is hysterical.
Everything about North Korea is, like, in a really strange way comical. And I say this because, like, have you ever seen, because I know you don't watch K-pop, have you ever seen Red Velvet perform in North Korea? Because it is one of the most surreal things I've seen in my life.
You have told me this.
Yes, it was, I feel like when I was watching that, you know that old, I say old, but it came out like maybe 5 years ago. that like North Korean comedy movie that got banned in a bunch of places for being too offensive. Do you remember that coming out?
Uh, the one where they were murdering Mao Zedong, well, it wasn't Mao. It was the current. No, Mao was Mao was China. Duh. What am I thinking? Kim.
Yeah, it was. I forgot what movie it was called. The Interview. It was called The Interview.
Yeah.
It felt like I was watching a scene from that movie, and I've seen that movie.
Yeah, Kim Jong Un.
Yeah, I've actually watched The Interview, and so when I watched Red Velvet performing in North Korea, and they're doing like this bubblegum pop cheerful song, like summer song, and you just see hordes of people in an auditorium blankly staring forwards as if in a trance, not blinking, not even really breathing. It felt like you were watching a parody. And like you just hadn't got to the punchline yet, and then it never gets to the punchline. It's just awkward the whole entire time.
There's no smiling in North Korea. It's actually forbidden by law.
I mean, I know that it's also like you're not allowed to wear makeup or something like that.
It's a lot of weird stuff.
Because there's a whole black market in Korea to sell like lipstick. And like get K-dramas and stuff.
By the way, my nuclear my nukes worked. That's what I'm trying to say with some level of dignity. I have brought an end to the conflict with Germany and Italy. They surrendered when I nuked them twice. Actually, I nuked Germany 3 times. Italy, I only nuked once.
3 strikes you're up?
I guess.
Okay, that was awful. Somebody else said in the comments, have you heard of the story about how we almost nuked ourselves?
That happened multiple times.
I feel like that's something that probably every country has one of those. Somebody almost hit the nuke button.
It's not even about a button. We literally had... there were several, they call them broken arrow incidents, where either a plane carrying nukes crashed or a plane accidentally dropped a nuke out of it. None of those resulted in a detonation.
Damn.
But it's, well, people don't give us enough credit, and I get why, because no one wants to talk about it. But we have a lot of safety measures in place specifically to prevent the exact thing that would be caused by you know.
Detonations. Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
This is the most I've thought about history since I graduated high school.
You're welcome.
I'm still mad about the fact that I took government I moved to Texas the sophomore year, and I took government senior year. And my government teacher was obsessed with relating everything to Texas history. And I just would stare blankly, because I know, like, the 5 Great Lakes, and, like, 13 original colonies, and, like, the Hudson River, and they'd be like, yeah, that one guy who used to be in office, and, like, the Alamo, remember the Alamo? And, like, just these long, droning conversations explaining abstract government policy in, like, Texas history, and I would just stare blankly and be like, "Sir, you're losing me. I have no idea what you're talking about." Screw Texas history. It's dumb. They celebrate losing.
You're gonna have to fill me in on.
Hold on, let me break out a document thing, because I don't even understand it fully well.
You talking about the Alamo?
No. Looked it up, and it's like a part of the fight on the Alamo, but it was a decisive fight of the Texas Revolution. And it's like, Fiesta is a very popular event in San Antonio, specifically for our Mexican population here. But it's about how Mexico lost. And
Siesta!
I will never quite understand that dynamic. I will also never get why Texas is always like, we need to secede from the United States and be our own country, and then like a week later be like, actually, Mr. President, could we get funding please, because our grid died because somebody blew a birthday candle next to the servers and everything blew up.
Texas has always been like that.
Yeah, well, I don't want.
They've always been. We don't listen to anybody. Also, hey, can we get some? What you're not gonna help? What do you mean? What? I thought we were all friends here.
Yeah, basically. It's just like, Texas is backwards as hell. I don't get it. Somebody in chat also is asking, who am I? I'm your worst nightmare. No, I'm joking. I'm actually really not.
She really is.
I'm really not. Hello, I'm Addie. How you doing? I'm just a friend. Also a frog.
What? I didn't nuke the Soviet Union. Why would you think that? That's a ridiculous statement. I will not. I do not. That's not a nuclear explosion. That is clearly a fireworks display celebrating our new. Shut up. Hi, Addie.
I've fallen into the horrible habit because one of my coworkers every day in the morning would usually go into our like main chill channel and say meowdy in the morning. So now I just constantly say howdy or meowdy to people. It's a habit that I can't break. And the person is not. I want to be clear. This person is not Texan. This person is not from the U.S. This person is from Germany. They just like saying meowdy.
A lot of I found that a lot of people from Europe like the word howdy because they assume all Americans say it, even though that's a very localized thing.
But the best part is it's not me. It's not howdy. They say meowdy. Like,
yes, they're doing it wrong.
And then there's. It's not actually wrong to do it on purpose, because if you check in the chat, hold on. I posted it in Money Train, but like this is the emoji people use when saying meowdy. Like it's a whole thing. It's like a whole new slang word essentially. It's a cat with the cowboy hat.
You know, is it okay for me to call this cultural appropriation? Is that?
Why is it appropriation?
Is that a claim restricted only for people who don't have my skin color? Is kind of where I'm at. You know.
What? Oh, because howdy. Howdy.
I'm just saying. Am I wrong?
Okay. So I have a bit of a nuclear take on cultural appropriation
Nuclear
in general
take.
that I'm not gonna go into. Yeah.
Wait, you want me to? You want another nuclear? Okay, hold on, I got this.
No.
All right,
that's
go
not
ahead.
what I meant.
All right, it's okay. Kiev was the closest city. It's fine. I got this.
Oh my god! Why?
I also want to stress was the closest city.
Wait, that's Ukraine though, isn't it? Are you nuking Ukraine? You know this.
Everyone makes mistakes, Addie, and not one of us is perfect in this world. We merely do our best, and sometimes our best is not good enough. And
Make that a clip later. The best part is you didn't realize that I pointed it out. All you did was just, I thought you broke out for a second. I look at the stream and you're just staring at the camera like, oh. Did you think it was the Soviet Union? Is that why you did it?
technically, it is in this context right now, okay?
Okay, fair. Fucking tearing up, holy shit. Oh my god.
As you were.
I don't even, okay. Culture appropriation. Okay. Back on topic, which is also a bad topic, but it's fine. What was, okay. Oh, about howdy and stuff. So people's opinion on appropriation is that you can't appropriate something that is not marginalized. So it's like a black person speaking in like African American vernacular English, right? Like that's seen as a very quote unquote like ghetto, ratchet, uneducated thing by like white cis people. I'm speaking in very much generalizations, I want to be clear, and like general popular opinion.
I was gonna say, excuse you, but go ahead. Continue, as you were.
No, I want to be clear. This is like general opinion that I've gained from like Twitter and stuff. This is not indicative of my own personal opinions. And so people have this point of view where it's like something like that gets marginalized and gets made fun of, and then people in the same vein as they put down like black and people of color for speaking in that way, then speak in that way themselves, and instead of getting criticism or the same type of stereotypical comments, they get praised or they get acknowledged positively for using that culture that they had taken and made fun of marginalized people about. I don't think that take is necessarily wrong. I think it's just leaving out a lot of nuance. And so I think people's argument would be nobody got systemically marginalized for saying howdy, so somebody not white saying howdy would not be appropriation of that in that way. Because it's not a word that is generally used to mock, make fun of, or otherwise marginalize a culture in the same way.
I just want to stress that y'all have thought way too much about this crap, and half the reason why no one likes to talk about it is that you have overcomplicated really simple issues. I just want you to...
I want you to know that this is once again not even fully my opinion. I think people... I'm trying to word this in a way that makes sense, because to me it's like a lot of this kind of rhetoric in general just straight up ignores that mixed people exist, which I feel like is its own problem that nobody wants to acknowledge. And until people acknowledge that, I'm not going to acknowledge any of the shit that they say.
That's fair.
As a mixed person myself, like, I'm tired of it. I have been told before that because I don't speak Spanish, I'm white. That's not how that works. It's literally
You're not. You're
not how that
clearly,
works.
clearly not white, like at all. Not even close, really.
Again, because it's a very reductionist take, and it's really, I feel like people are so busy figuring out what individual words some random person on the internet is allowed to say, instead worrying about having an actual community. Like, I've never been in like an all Hispanic space and ever felt included in it because I felt like I was never supposed to be there. And then I go to where they say I am because they say I'm white. I don't feel like I should be there either. And so it's just one of those situations where it's like, y'all gotta like figure your shit out. Like, just like figure it out. Because I shouldn't have to figure it out for you. Like, sorry, I just got into a random tangent about race. World War II.
I don't even know if I should clip that because that got that. I'm still thinking about that, and I'm like, should I clip that because that was really dark? Totally not on purpose.
It was not on purpose. I just got on a tangent. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm just thinking. I'm just still thinking about that. Like, some people will find that hilarious, but in my head, I'm like, oh my god.
Wait, Brandon, do Canadians say "eh" a lot? Is that a thing? Like, I know people make fun of Canadians for apologizing a lot. I didn't know that saying like "eh" was a joke against them either, though. I know there was a whole controversy on Twitter because somebody got mad that a K-pop group made a song called "Mafia in the Morning." And made a whole thread like why mafia is not your aesthetic, a thread about the horrors of mafia, right? and somebody no, Josh, somebody responded, "Mamma mia, it's a pizza." And then they're like, "Fuck you. This is why this is exactly what I'm talking about. You're disrespectful piece of shit." Ashibadabubi spaghetti. Absolutely the worst thread I've seen on Twitter. It was unhinged on both sides. One side is calling for a death threat of anybody who says the word mafia in their house, and the other is like, "Mamma mia!" Posting like a picture of Mario smoking crack and shit. See, this is why you have me in your stream at 2 a.m. because I just bring up the stupidest thing you will ever see in your life. See, I'm trying to remember to also not curse. It's
You've
not
been
working.
doing it, but I let you go because you were upset, so I was like, it's fine, it's late
Yeah,
enough.
I'm sorry. I will try not to curse this much. It's just Twitter's a wild ride, man. You never know what stop you're going off on.
Okay. I now have unavailable another nuclear bomb. I am going to carefully scoot around Ukraine. And then realize that Moscow's completely out of range.
Unfortunate. Never invite me onto one of your World War II shoots ever again.
I can nuke Poland. Does that help? does.
I don't think so. And the syllables aren't similar enough. Oh my gosh. Oh, you're getting requests from the chat.
I just hit Warsaw. Oh, not because of anything against Poland, but because it is the most tactically logical thing for me to do right now. Because there's a whole bunch of Soviet troops there and they won't leave and they're annoying me.
I just like... Man, this video game could cause so much societal destruction if somebody found out about its existence.
What, this?
Not about it. No, this game. I'm saying it has the potential to cause. Like, imagine like Hassan and like Destiny and Vosh playing this game on stream.
Oh, sure. Really popular people play it and it's in trouble, but I play it.
No. I'm saying political YouTubers and like streamers that are known for like being involved heavily in politics, doing crazy stuff in this game, and then like justifying it with like real world analogies or whatever. I feel like so many people would like get offended by every single thing they did in the game as if they were actually gonna like nuke something in real life.
That's why most of the people that play this game are like actual historians that are trying to give context to proper things and not unintentionally nuke Ukraine. Which is not what I meant to do. Well, I did, but I didn't think about it. It was in... Currently, in the game, the year is the 24th of October, 1945, and I am at war with the Soviet Union. Okay? It's not...
And Ukraine didn't exist at that point, really.
The territory did, but it was under...
It was a part of the Soviet Union.
Right.
Like, it wasn't its own sovereign... Yeah, no, I get you. It's just, you were like, I don't know where to nuke. I'm nuking Kyiv, and I was like, I don't... That didn't land right. Technically, okay, it did land. The problem was that it landed, but like, you know what I mean.
Do I know what you mean?
I don't know what I mean at this point, man. It's late.
That's fair. Brandon, no! Do not say that! That's a horrible joke, but only if you know... Only if you... Nope. Nope. But who would drop a tactical nuke on the open battlefield? The only country in the game that has access to nukes. It's me, everyone!
Later, Samu the Hamu Studios. Ooh, that's a cool name. But yeah, they said goodnight. I don't know, so.
Yeah, I did see. Later, Samu. I probably should have said something. You okay? Me? No, I'm fine. You are? Okay. Oh, Iceland surrendered. I forgot we were at war with Iceland. I didn't even get a chance to nuke them.
The French one. I feel like if you ever want to befriend any country, befriend France. I don't know why, but like
They are very rude and crabby, but they will back you up in times of need. Historically.
yeah, like they seem kind of. They're small but mighty.
They're really not that small. Like, they have, like, by European standards, they have a significant amount of space. Technically larger than the UK. UK's so, like, France isn't to be underestimated. They just complain about everything. They're like that friend that's constantly critiquing everything you do, but if you're in trouble, you still go to them anyway, because you know they'll help.
Half the people in this Discord server.
Pretty much. I mean, they were one of our earliest allies. They helped us out during the Revolutionary War. But that was mostly because they hated Britain at the time, and they were like, wait, we can make Britain look dumb? Excellent. King Louis was like, sure. And then he was like, okay, you guys gonna pay us back? And we were like, what?
No.
No. Also, we introduced some revolutionary ideas to your people. I hope they don't behead you. Thanks for the help. And then they beheaded him. Because French people are hardcore, alright?
Speaking of beheading, okay, bear with me for a second, okay? Have you listened to the Broadway play 6? I think it's called.
I've heard of it. Don't really know what it is, but I think I've heard of it.
It's a play. Hold on. I'm so bad at Roman numerals. We're out. It is a musical comedy about. It is a modern retelling of the 6 wives of Henry VIII. Where, you know, like half of them got beheaded.
2 of them did.
Or 2 of them. Well, 2 is close to 3 in some world.
Yeah, only 2. He only beheaded 2. He divorced.
Yeah, it was 2.
And I think it was only 5 wives.
No, I think it was 6. Hold on.
1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. No, it is 6. You're right. I was just thinking because it was divorced, beheaded, died in childbirth. I forgot about her.
And then divorced, beheaded, and then the last one survived.
The last one survived. Yes.
But yeah, it's a whole, they made a whole entire stage play, kind of like, I want to say like Hamilton-esque style, where it's like a modern retelling of it.
I hate Hamilton so goddamn much.
Oh my god, okay, never mind, I'm not even gonna, why do you hate it though? Wait, I actually want to know.
First of all, I don't really care for musicals, and I probably wouldn't hate it so much if anyone saw fit to shut the fuck up.
It was hatred due to people not letting it go and dragging it on more than it is hatred for the actual thing, I assume.
Right. It had nothing to do like the actual. Like, I'm sure it's a fun. It's obviously based on the simple fact that it's it was so successful. It's obviously a very fine piece of media. I just wanted it, but I wasn't a fan of it, and I just wanted
Everybody
everyone to
just
be
stop.
just please.
Honestly, I don't blame you. I mean, like, I watched the Hamill film when it came out, and I listened to like almost all of it on Spotify. But whenever I listen to Hamilton, I only listen to like 1/4 of the album. It's a 3-hour play with 90% of it being songs. So if you try to listen to the whole Hamilton playlist, how long is the runtime? It's like, it has to be like 3 hours. 2 hours and 22 minutes, correction. It feels way longer. It's a 3-hour play, so there probably is a little bit of talking in between. But it's a long play. I can't ever sit through the whole thing. After I did it once, I never want to do it again. It has shown me that there is a reason why we have intermissions in real play. Because the amount of brain power that it requires to sit through 3 hours of a musical is astronomical. 3-hour movies, a lot of people in general miss, and I have to say that after going back and watching a bunch of 3-hour movies, never bring them back again.
Plus, my interest in terms of like historical films, especially dealing with my own country, I tend to be very patriotic about it. And
yeah,
like Hamilton, I'm sure was fine, but like my whole thing, I'm like, but I liked watching The Patriot, which is about freedom.
I mean, half of it's about like Hamilton's life drama, which is probably not the most interesting thing to some people who just want the history parts of it. Because you get a lot of context as to him as a person and stuff, and like why he made certain decisions and why political things happen. But it wasn't like an historical documentary musical. It was an entertaining musical first and a history lesson second. A pretty good history lesson because it definitely saved me through a couple of history tests that I had in high school. But like, nevertheless, it was mostly meant to be entertaining. It has also helped me win a couple of Jeopardy questions whenever I play Jeopardy with my sister.
Interesting.
Darkness, what's your favorite war movie?
Oh!
Here.
It's hard to say. I like a few. God, I'm trying to think now. I recently watched Fury. That was really good. I actually enjoyed Midway. Most of everything featuring John Wayne was great.
You know what? I have a question that adds on to this question.
What's up?
How do you feel about American Sniper?
I didn't watch it.
Okay.
Because on one hand, I'm sure for certain people it was like something really special. But the notion that there may have been lies involved with his record troubled me, because it seemed like based on the trailer, it seemed like it really took like the toll service can take on veterans very seriously. And I guess in my mind I noticed the notion that would be basically taken away from the film because of him, not because of what the director was trying to do, is annoying.
There's a lot of controversy about that movie because it's like glorifying like war crimes or something.
Oh Christ,
and I again, I am really not great at history, and that's one thing that I can just fully admit. So I can't even say if that's true or not. The movie bored me to tears. Regardless.
What people are saying, and this is something, because it's based on the second Iraq War, people, any kind of movie that's like, showing what our servicemen did and sacrificed during that conflict, whether or not you agree with the conflict or not, there's a side that's like, it's glorifying a war crime, and it's like, shut the fuck up. The movie had nothing to do with it. Shut the fuck up. These guys still, went out there and suffered. shut the fuck up. I'm swearing on my own stream. Seriously, I'm just like I can't deal with that kind of nonsense. Like I had to, I love the new Top Gun movie, for example, and I had to deal with a horribly stupid article written about how this is glorifying the military. And it's like, is this what I'm dealing with now? This is why Republicans hate liberals so much. And when I am siding with the Republicans on anything, there's a problem. Because
I was gonna say, that's a nuclear take.
I know I'm gonna. But it's true. Like, you don't, like, you can agree that war is bad and still respect our armed forces, and implying first of all, the implication, the lunacy that we shouldn't promote the military and that the military is unnecessary is hysterical, because it's a big world out there, and people do bad things. There are bad people in the world. Okay, I'm sorry if that hurts anyone's feelings. Well, we kind of need the military.
How dare you break my immersion of my fake isekai world where nothing bad could ever happen to anybody?
Yes. And, this is, honestly, and you were, and this is not meant to come at you, Addie, but it was something you were kind of talking about for a while. It was the whole issue with the Army having a professional gaming team.
Oh, I still think that's really dumb.
Okay, as long as they're being honest about it being, sponsored by the Army, I really don't see the issue. Because,
the problem is, a lot of the times, recruiters and stuff will just straight up lie to people.
I'm not saying the recruiting process. I'm not saying the recruiting process is perfect, but
that's my problem. My problem is that they go into spaces where they know there's a lot of people who they can recruit that are in a vulnerable position. They target these kind of groups, like they go into gaming conventions, they go to people's high schools, they find any way they can to weasel into minor places that minors might be in. And then they go in and they go, well, you don't have any plans for life, and your life sucks, so you should come and fight in this amazing, great military. Nothing could ever go wrong.
Okay, you are. I need to stop you, because as someone who has worked with and known military recruiters, some of them are scummy. You're right, but of course they're going to places where young people are, because military wants to recruit people that are young. Because that's peak physical fitness territory. Duh. That's
great.
Just
but
logical.
When you do it with predatory recruiting practices,
Hold on. The vast majority of them won't necessarily lie. They'll simply explain, here's how it works, here's where you're going to go, this is what you're going to do, etc., etc. Now, and I would argue that most recruits know very well what they're getting into when they join the freaking military. And maybe some of them don't. And plenty do wash out. I had a friend who could not get through basic training. She totally couldn't do it. I told her she wouldn't be able to do it. She insisted, no, I can definitely do it. No, she couldn't. Okay. But
I'm speaking from personal experience as a kid who went to a high school that had JROTC and had nothing but recruiters flooding the lunch cafeteria, harassing people who visibly looked in any way impoverished, and then would hound them to join the military, and that everything was perfect and great. And I would say stuff like, oh yeah, if you want to join the military, you don't have to actually be in peak physical fitness. You could do stuff like you could join our band.
Yeah.
And tour around playing music.
They do have other jobs.
They do. But you still have to go through the physical stuff to get to any of the other places, which they would purposely not tell anybody.
Everyone goes through basic training. That's... To be honest, I thought that was a very well-known fact.
No, Josh, I know that. I would ask them because I wanted to see their answer, and they would say it didn't. So I don't know if it's something that maybe it's just in Texas. But almost every recruiter I've met,
I am 100% in agreement.
scummy.
I want to stress. I am 100% in agreement, and I believe you when you say you had poor experiences with recruiters, and I'm sure some of them are doing some very scummy, questionable practices. I am in no way going to argue that that didn't happen because, first of all, I wasn't there. You were there, and I don't think you'd lie about that. All right, that's A. B. But I'm gonna pull a not all cops situation. Not all recruiters are like that, and we kind of need recruiters. Like, people need, the armed forces needs bodies, and it's not a. I mean, some and like the recruiting process is arguably better than the other option because a lot of countries like South Korea has mandatory conscription for everybody. I think men specifically.
Yeah, men.
They have to be in the armed force. Like America doesn't make anybody do that. So the other side of that coin is, well, then they have to recruit because we need armed forces. We do. We need a military. We don't live in a world where we don't have where we can just say nobody needs a military anymore because we're never going to fight again.
My problem with recruitment is that every and all recruitment is bad. It's just, from what I have observed from all the times that I have been bothered by recruiters, which is a startlingly large amount. Maybe again it's a Texas thing, but I've from sophomore year to even the first year after graduating high school, I was basically nonstop harassed by recruiters. Considering the fact that I have allergy-induced asthma and also a genetic knee condition, I can't even serve if I wanted to, and I would still get harassed all the time to join.
Because I think what in your case, what it is, the recruiters do have a quota. They have to, to do their job, they have to actually bring in numbers to a certain degree. Even if they brought you in, you would apply, you would get rejected because of your conditions, but they still get a point for bringing you in. Is kind of how it works, per my understanding. So it's probably and they wouldn't know by looking at you that you weren't going to be able to, even if you wanted to. It just wasn't, they wouldn't know that.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I wore a giant bulky metal brace, but I guess
they could have been a temporary thing from an injury. They didn't know. They're just like, hey, that's
that
just
is fair. It's just the problem I have with recruitment is what I voiced. I don't think, and I guess this is kind of hard for me to explain, I don't think all recruitment is bad, and I don't think that we don't need a military. I've never said either of those things, and I also think that those people say those things are kind of dumb.
They're really dumb.
I think that the way a lot of recruiters, and you know what, the way to some recruiters, I'll say some because I don't know, the way that some recruiters handle recruiting is extremely shady. It is extremely, they rely on lies or vulnerable people in general. They promise stuff. They, in my school, a lot of the time, they would target, and I would see this, is that they would target a lot of the kids who either were sitting alone or didn't look like they had a lot of money. If a kid just walked out of the lunchroom with a giant stack of expensive food and also went to their fancy car, they would not even be bothered.
Because it's usually those type of, to be fair, usually those type of kids don't bother with the military because they have the money for higher education and other stuff.
Yeah, but
the military does
vulnerability to be like, hey, you might.
It's not a matter of financial vulnerability. It's a matter of, hey, because the military does pay for school after your service run. They do that. So,
That's great, but we also still have a bunch of veterans on the street, so clearly they don't actually have the best safety net for all their troops.
There are other reasons. I mean, they'll pay for school doesn't mean that they'll succeed at school. It's not a perfect situation, but they do pay for it. And, for some people, joining the military winds up being something that, might be their only option. I'm not saying that should be the case, but it is. And they don't realize it even is an option until a recruiter tells them. you know.
Brandon said if I hadn't asked about a military movie, this is all your fault.
That's right, Brandon. Look at what you've caused. You know, so I guess my point, you know, like, and I speak as someone not only who has known recruiters, has worked with recruiters when I was in Boy Scouts, but I also was scouted a lot when I was right out of high school because I took the ASVAB test to, you know, which is military placement. And I don't like to mention it, but I'll bring it up. I scored obscenely high. And when I did that, I think I got a call from every single branch of the armed forces. All of them. So
I never had situations like that. I just had recruiters like show up to my work at Walmart.
To be honest, I was kind of flattered.
My experience with recruiters is like being harassed while I was trying to eat my food at lunch, and working at Walmart, having a recruiter walk up to me and say he's not gonna leave until I take his card and say I'm gonna call him later.
Well, I never joined the military. To be honest, I probably wouldn't have done well in the military because I don't know if this is news to you, but I'm really bad at taking orders.
I remember telling recruiters, I'm like, even if I didn't have a knee condition, I don't think y'all want me there.
Like, I'm certainly smart enough, but I would not have. There's no way. No way.
Brandon, I want you to know that why do you think I don't work at Walmart anymore? I only worked at Walmart because I physically needed the money. I would have never in any other circumstance have applied it and worked there. Unless I actually absolutely had to.
No, obviously you wanted to. It was your dream job, right?
No.
No. What I love about that is how offended you sounded at just the thought. Like the implication, like it was, that wasn't just a no. That was a, how dare you?
I feel like I have to clarify that, my manager's like, we need to make an announcement on the on the intercom for like the whole store. All right, Addie, go and make an announcement. And I went, sir, it's my second day. I don't know how the phones work. And he was like, oh, really? You don't know how the phones work? I thought you said you know technology. Why did I hire you then? And I went, knowing how to fix your laptop doesn't mean I know how to work an intercom I've never touched before, sir. Well, and then stared at me for 10 minutes until I figured it out. I also got called that person over there, it, for the first 3 months working there.
It?
Yes.
The hell is it?
I was not human enough to be referred to by name.
Who did that?
The manager that had beef with my dad, and my dad worked there. That my dad got me the job, working directly underneath.
Wow.
It was one of his many signs that he should not have dropped out of high school, is all I'm saying. So maybe he would have connected the dots and been like, maybe that's a bad idea!
What? No, it wasn't.
I mean, when I say bad blood, I mean like my dad cursed him out on the walkie in front of every other manager and made fun of him for saying something stupid once. And then I ended up working under the person that my dad had cursed out on the walkie.
Hooray!
Hooray! Hey, but I learned how to work in a photo copy job. Like I can fix industrial printers now. So I could add that to my random list of useless skills. Jack Harson, I think instead of we can talk about is how Josh just bombed another place.
No, I didn't.
Darkness favorite Diesel.
I'm quite partial to teddy bears. Dash 9s. Really anything is a safety cab.
What does that mean?
Teddy bear is a nickname for a diesel. There's a type of diesel.
What's a diesel? I'm thinking diesel fuel, bro.
A diesel locomotive. A train.
Okay.
Oh my.
Listen, like the history part of my brain is working overtime. I'm trying to keep. You're the one who decided to move from video games. I don't want to hear it.
I'm playing a game right now.
About World War II.
Do you want me to nuke Warsaw again?
No. I'm just saying.
How much do they have to suffer because how much do they have to suffer because of your ignorance, Addie?
I'm not the one who bombed Ukraine.
Addie! It wasn't my fault.
Oh, I don't want to hear it either. I didn't do anything wrong either.
I just want Stalin to surrender, but he's got so much territory, he has no reason to do that.
It's kind of funny because I kind of forgot how big it was.
Russia's freaking enormous. Like, people don't understand. Like, no wonder no one's ever. No wonder like Napoleon and Hitler both failed to take it over. I mean, good God.
Stalin is clearly stalling. But
Well, I mean, Cade's not here, so someone has to do it.
yeah. That's why I said it's so defeated. I was like, I can't not say it, unfortunately, because Kane isn't here, because Kane would absolutely have lost it. Speaking of, I should just message Kane and ask if he's a friend. You could threaten to assassinate him like Tito did. Is what Mopoc says.
I just feel like that's not going to work.
Have you considered shaking his hand and asking him to play Fortnite? I heard that the kids do make friends these days.
Is that code for dropping another nuclear bomb?
If you want it to be?
I mean, I just don't think the people of Warsaw have suffered enough, is kind of where I'm at with it.
I mean, you dropped a nuke, right?
I hear...
So, like, isn't it basically uninhabitable
I
anywhere
hear
else?
there's a lot of communists there. And we can't have that.
Why does this map, like, when I'm looking this close to it, it's kind of giving me, like, Planet Side 2 vibes a little bit. Like when you're looking at the map before you're about to drop into an area. I don't know if you ever played Planet Side 2.
No.
Oh. Well, I should play it again. It's actually pretty fun.
I mean, everything is damaged to the point of absurdity in Warsaw, if that makes you feel any better.
And they still can't get it?
The resistance strength is going up. They're not trying hard enough. The AI, my AI allies, are made of failures, and always they are
They
idiots.
should have had better recruiters.
Actually, yeah. If they all they have to do is push as one. That's all we have to do, and we will overrun the Soviets right now.
Gosh, aren't we still having that discussion in League of Legends to this day? It's a tale as old as time. Just group up and push.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we managed, somehow we defeated Hitler despite their inability to do that. Except that this is this game, and not actual reality, where instead of avoiding a war with the Soviets, we are actively at war with them. Also, Japan is still somehow not dead, and they're annoying me. Because I can't actually drop a nuke on them right now. Not allowed. Because you need a certain level of air superiority. I don't have it over Japan.
Speaking of random things about the world, have you ever had a foreign exchange program in your school, Josh?
I knew one foreign exchange student from high school. I wouldn't call it a program. If there was one, I wasn't aware of it. Why do you ask?
We had one in my school. We seem to have mostly done it with, like, German kids. And I say this specifically because literally every foreign exchange student in our school was from Germany. I think we had, like, a specific kind of program with them. But the person who ran that program for students to come from Germany to the US also had been trying to encourage people to go, obviously, from the US out. And they were actually paying, they were like, yeah, it costs this amount of money to go to all these countries, or we'll pay you to go to some. And all of us were like, what's the catch? And they're like, if you decide that you want to go to, you know, Saudi Arabia or Egypt, we'll pay you. And everybody was just like, okay, so, like, how much is Italy? Because nobody's going to Egypt.
I mean, I would like to go to Egypt. Cairo, specifically.
I thought it sounded cool. But that was literally, I think that talk happened a week after that news broke about an not an Egyptian couple, like an American tourists in Egypt were killed or something, and it was like really big international news. It was literally like a week after that happened.
Now, I know why you, as a woman, wouldn't want to go to either of those places.
Yeah.
I am definitely, I have some privilege in this department. As a man, I would not have to deal with a certain amount of issues that would crop up in that region of the world.
I would love to visit Egypt with people temporarily.
That's fair. I knew one foreign exchange student. He was from Ecuador. Actually, like the nicest friggin' guy I knew in high school, though. He was such a cool dude.
It was kind of sad because all the German kids that came for the foreign exchange program were really nice at the beginning of the year, and as we would joke that eventually they'll get corrupted by American because they, like, at the end of the year guaranteed they became like frat boy serial drinkers by the end of the year. Every time.
They're German.
There was literally they'd be like the nicest, like, I have to be home by 8, and then by the end of the year they'd be like, yo, let's go get turned at a party. Like, I'm not even joking, this happened every year because, like, my school was just so bad that they would just corrupt anybody who seemed really nice.
The Americans have corrupted our youth. Hans! Get the Geldschlechter! The Wunderwaffe!
I still love the idea that people have where it's like, teachers are corrupting the students, and I'm like, the students are corrupting the students. It's nothing to do with the teachers.
The Kugelblitz! The time to march has come again.
We have students with access to the internet. They're already done for. No, because I'm saying, like, I met them and, like, I would be friends with them, or, like, I've been friends with them throughout the year, and they'd be literally, like, I don't leave the house after, like, 7 p.m. because I have a curfew. Straight A's. By the end of the year, they're, like, coming to school visibly hungover, smoking weed in the bathroom. Like, it was, like, a very visible change. Not just rumors.
Would it help if I said that Hitler would probably be very disappointed by that? That's kind of a silver lining.
And it's because my school had a party culture, and it's not. I'm not saying every German kid is just gonna become a frat kid. I'm saying, like, my school just had a problem where, like, it had a very frat culture. I went to a very rich school.
Somehow.
I don't know how. I literally shared one room with 3 people in, like, a 500 square foot space. Like, I don't know how that equated to me. Because the way they do schools here is that depending on where you live geographically, like, you go to a specific school regardless. And we lived in an expensive area, but we lived in, like, the cheapest area in that expensive area you could. That was, like, awful.
Hey, you want to talk?
So I went to
Sorry, you finish what you're saying, because I got to bring this up. This is really important while you're here.
No, I'm just saying, like, I went to a really rich school to the point where, like, you would go to the parking lot and you would have, like, at the time, like, 2016, which was, like, brand new, Jeep Wranglers just lining the whole parking lot, because that was, like, the in car at the time, and so a lot of kids were buying those cars. Yes, kids could just, like, buy cars.
I was gonna say kids were just
buy cars.
This is not how I grew up. I just want to stress that.
I went to a very rich school when I moved to Texas, and so it had a frat boy. So I was friends with, like, 5 weed dealers in my school.
Of course you were.
I never smoked, but I was friends with a lot of them.
Of course you did. I believe you.
Everybody says that as if I actually. I swear to you.
I know.
Like, I literally could have. I have been offered it for free, and I said no. And I probably should have said yes, but. Yeah, I went to rich school. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
So, like, you were mentioning earlier about the social political commentary of this game, and how it's just rife with things that can be brought up, and we were so focused on the nukes. Can we just discuss how in World War II, mind you, those 1940s, how much of Africa was under colonization by various European powers? Because it was like the whole thing. Still, at that point. UK, Germany, France, Portugal, Belgium, they all had a claim in Africa still at that time.
And it wasn't even their property. They just walked in and were like, yo, you don't have a choice. Yeah.
So if you really want to anger the woke crowd, let's bring that up for a second. You want to talk about that? We could talk about that.
Mopac says, alternatively, you could give Ethiopia all the nukes.
I just don't think it's a good idea. For a variety of reasons.
I was supposed to be productive and be writing, and instead I've just been hanging out past like 2 hours. But this is great.
Have I ruined your ability to focus on actual work?
No, I was just gonna write, as in, like, write stories.
Still not taking back Warsaw! What are you idiots doing? I will do it myself!
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I have to bring this up because this discourse on Twitter is very funny to me. Apparently some Christians on TikTok who are, like, anti-trans are saying the Bible doesn't have any pronouns in it. And I feel like I need a minute to unload that.
You know the meme where the woman's staring at the math equations?
Yes.
Yep. That's where I'm at right now.
I can't believe that the world has allowed this. And by the world, I mean like Darwinism, like survival of the fittest. We're having an argument about the Bible having pronouns in 20. This is a thing that we are wasting our time on. Somebody else said, who was very far right on Twitter, and they're also being clowned on. They said the Constitution doesn't have any pronouns, and somebody's like, we the people? And they're like, yeah, we the people. It doesn't have any pronouns in it. No he, she, they, them, he, him, BS. No pronouns, just the Constitution.
Honestly, imagine a world where you're so you have so few issues that your biggest deal is what someone wishes, like what pronoun someone wishes to use. Like that's your big problem. It's not world hunger, it's not world peace, it's not socioeconomic inequality, it's not, it's not corruption, it's not murder, it's not serial killers, it's not racist. No. These people, this person wants to be called a specific pronoun, and I don't know if my brain can properly handle that, so I'm going to complain about it and relate it to the Bible, even though the Bible has nothing in it even remotely about this, because of course it doesn't. Why the hell would it?
Are there actual armed guards at high schools in the U.S.? Did you have armed guards in your school, Josh?
No. It's I believe that's one thing that people have said may need to be done in extreme cases, but I've never heard, like, my school didn't. It's usually, if it has happened, I have only heard of like one instance from a serious perspective, and I believe it wasn't because of the reasons you're thinking. It was because of the level of crime among the student body, because those schools are like a really bad area, with a lot of.
I know, and not to bring up dark current events, but it is kind of relevant. Uvalde school had armed cops stationed at the school, I think. As well as they invested a lot of money in their security systems, and it just didn't work.
I was gonna say, where the fuck were they?
Looking at their Punisher wallpaper on their phone.
I saw the Punisher wallpaper, and I'm like, God damn it.
But in my school, I
don't really.
had what I like to call rent-a-cops.
Oh, you had those. But I took back Warsaw, and you're welcome, by the way. Wait, there's like no city left because I destroyed it. Okay, look, we're not going to talk about that part. We're going to talk about how I liberated Warsaw, and you're welcome. Anyway.
Good job.
I know, I'm the best. These people would be still alive without me. But, like, it's first of all, I mean, Canada had a mass shooting, like, yesterday.
Did it?
Yeah, Canada's been having a lot of weird problems with that. I have no idea what's going on up there, but, like the people, internet, like, the nice thing about what I do now is I get a lot of people from outside the country that are, followers, and they'll say stuff, and I'm learning a lot. Like, Addie, I know you're upset about the way things have been going in our country, and I totally understand. Believe me, I empathize with you right now. But in the grand scheme of things, we have it pretty good. Like, we're not perfect at all. But compared to a lot of places, like even places that often get talked up, like in Europe and Canada, shit's been going downhill really fast. Like, Trudeau has been a disaster lately for Canada, and I don't know what his deal is. And the Dutch have lost their minds. And the UK is ousting their prime minister, so that's cool. I mean, Biden is...
The UK is J.K. Rowling. I'm good.
Yeah, see, exactly. Like, so it's like there's a lot to unpack all around the world. We're not perfect, obviously. But I think we've made pretty steady progress over the years. It's not... It could be worse. Especially when you take into account everything else going on. But anyway, like, as for the whole gun issue, yeah, I never had armed guards or anything like that. Because it's like it's just the expense of doing it. Like, it's not reasonable. Like we shouldn't be at, frankly, we shouldn't be at the point where that's necessary. Oh, thank you, Mark's Protogen. And the other thing, what was I gonna say? Shoot, I lost my train of thought. Everything got derailed. Gaddy, help, what was I talking about?
Armed guards to your school.
Right, the guards. And I didn't know where I was going with that.
I have no idea.
I actually had something. I actually had something to say. The expense of doing it. I remember saying that, and it shouldn't be necessary. It should, that shouldn't be something. That should be a thing.
What do you mean, Josh? To solve all school shooting issues, just give teachers guns.
That's where I was at with it. Not that. Not the teacher gun thing, because that's a terrible idea too. I don't necessarily blame the individual. I almost feel a little bad for the individual cops of that city, because they were following orders from their idiot chief, who told them not to do anything. Now, they didn't have to listen, but technically they did. And it's like...
I think our problem with it wasn't even the fact that they didn't listen. It wasn't even the fact of what they did. The problem was the fact that they lied in all their reports. And then the minute they started getting investigated for lying about what happened... Because at first, nobody knew that it took an hour for them to get into the school and stop the shooting.
Right. Well,
they reported that it was a swift and justice-filled response, and it all happened so fast.
Yeah, we were really good. We were good. It was just like The Punisher, actually.
Yeah, and in reality, you see footage of them literally like detaining parents who are like, if you won't go into the school, I will get my kids out. I don't care. If you're not gonna go in, and you're not gonna get my kids out there, I'm gonna get my kids out there. And they were like arresting parents instead of like, I don't know, going in.
Well, it really annoys me. It annoys me in twofold, because, like, for one thing, yeah, I know, like, they handled that really badly, and then they tried to lie about it. Like, that's really irritating. But for two, frankly, it makes a lot of, it makes, people are using it to be like, see, this is why we don't need police. Like, okay, no, because I guarantee you, if this had happened in a place like Detroit or New York, like, there are police officers who would have gone in there guns a-blazing, okay? No question in my mind that would have happened. It just happened to be these idiots who decided it was better to let a bunch of children die than to do anything.
It's also hard to say, like, New York, what police would do anything, like, would go in guns blazing. Because they probably would, and then they'd shoot the first ethnic person that they saw.
Well, that's a separate issue, but...
just want to point it out there, as a person who lives in New York. They're not very good.
I can't hear you. What are you saying? Oh, okay. I didn't even know Bailey was there. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
What happened?
My girlfriend was in the background.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she was talking to me. She was talking to the cat.
Okay. But yeah, just police is meh. That whole situation was mad, and they lied about it, and then they started arresting parents trying to go into the school. And then they said, it's so funny because there's actually recent news about it where the principal is on indefinite like leave and is being under investigation because allegedly the lock to the classroom did not work properly, which is how the shooter got into the room to hurt all those kids. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, but I thought your argument was that the door was locked and it couldn't be opened, and that's why it took you guys an hour to get into the room. So which one is it? I have not.
Yeah, the shooter got in somehow.
Yeah, and it's like the shooter got in because the lock wasn't working properly, but then the police officers couldn't brute force the door because the door was locked. Do you see the issue here?
I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities there.
They were playing a nasty game of mahjong.
I'll finish up shortly. Why? You tired? I thought I should get a shower too.
Brandon also said, it's sad that at 18 Americans can buy a gun but can't drink, but the drink age in Canada is 18. There's just so many issues with age restrictions in certain things. Because no country's gonna align on it. Like,
well, I mean,
even in states, in San Antonio, you can't buy cigarettes unless you're 21.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, like, if we can't even agree to it on a state level, how the heck are we going to agree to it country by country? Because Canada and the US are different places regardless of how closely they reside, nor how much we kind of get influenced by one another. And by influence, I mean mostly Canada does.
Canada doesn't influence us.
No, like, Canada gets influenced by us a bit.
What?
Like,
They don't.
a little bit. I mean, that's why Canadians pay so much attention to elections over here.
Well, to be fair, the world at large pays more attention to other people's elections than we generally do. Our news media doesn't report very much on others' elections, nearly as much. Like it's actually a very American thing to be only focused on our elections, especially in Europe. They're so close together that they genuinely care who their neighbor's new president is, you know, or prime minister, whatever it may be.
I guess it's because in America too, we're just such a big country. We have so many elections running in our own country for each individual state. They're trying to keep track of all of that.
Yeah. Plus, we don't have a lot of. Plus, we don't have that many borders to worry about. You know, like we have to know. You know, we have Mexico and Canada. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, and generally we keep track of who's in charge of the other superpowers, though it's generally been the same person for about 20 years. We won't talk about that. Yes? What do you do? He's been getting very aggressive. Our cat's being a dick.
I really thought he was gonna attack me.
Why? What did he do?
We don't know. We think he needs fixed.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my cat fixed too because he's been acting like even more of a menace than usual. Like, I could barely sleep at night menace.
Yeah, like Bailey's turning into a little frickin' monster.
I am resigned to bribing my cat with tuna so I can actually fall asleep.
We've been giving him wet food to get him to stop being a douche for about 5 minutes.
Ow. Man, sometimes I'm not even good at breathing. Look at me go.
Hi, my name's Autumn. I struggle to breathe.
Yep. Also posted my real and full name and stream.
Uh,
Orders.
Autumn's not a uncommon name. Like,
I mean,
it's,
I know. I'm joking.
if I had named
literally,
your...
like, literally almost every stream I'm in, somebody just drops like, "Hey, Autumn," and I'm like, "All right." I even if I wanted it to be a secret, it's impossible. So I just
Also,
joke
I
about
mean,
it
I'm
now.
sorry. I just,
I kid. There's no way, even if I wanted to, it would be private. So I literally just meme whenever it happens. You are totally fine.
frickin' Teddy was calling me Josh last night, like you guys tend to do, and someone in the stream was like, "Your name is Josh?" And I'm like, "No, you didn't hear that."
It's Dave.
No.
I want you to know that I said that because I was thinking of boy in a band, and then I realized last minute that that was a bad name
You,
to joke about. I apologize.
you have invoked something terrible.
No, I'm literally listening to boy in a band on Spotify.
We were
His real name is
we were
Dave. I'm
having
so
a
sorry.
good time, enjoying ourselves, and you just had to go and ruin it.
I'm
And
so
how
sorry.
did we lose?
I
We did not.
genuinely
That did
feel
not
so
happen.
bad. I'm
Okay,
really
good.
sorry.
It's okay. I'll get over it somehow. Maybe not now. Maybe not ever. I'll make myself feel better by dropping 2 nuclear bombs. I feel that's an appropriate response to the situation. Oh, I have a third one. I didn't even realize that. Did I say 2? I meant 3. Surrender, Stalin! I have more where that came from! You just gotta give me a few turns to produce them.
Did you hear about the new Game of Thrones shows that are coming out?
Unfortunately.
Both of them?
Unfortunately.
I still find it so funny that I wasn't keeping up with Game of Thrones really, and season 4 came out. And my sister was like, "You will not believe what they did to Jon after he betrayed everybody or whatever." And I turned to her, and the only lore information I knew was that Daenerys has dragons, Arya's cool, and that the Night Watch existed and the wall broke in one of the seasons. I don't know which one. And so I knew at that point, because of season 8, that the wall was broken and the Night Watch didn't exist anymore. She's like, "You will not believe what his punishment was for like killing Daenerys or whatever." And I looked at her and I was like, "What are they gonna do? Make him go back on the wall?" And she just stared at me and then stomped away because apparently I just accidentally guessed the plot twist. And I was like, "I want you to know." She's like, "You knew." And I was like, "I want you to know that I know virtually nothing about this show except for what you tell me from each episode when you're ranting to me about it." I was making a joke because, you know, how can you be Night Watch for a wall that doesn't exist anymore? It was a joke. And I just was apparently right. I swear I did not cheat. I did not look it up.
I just got a great comment.
What?
The sound quality of the comments is horrible, and combined with your strident voice, it's a torment to listen to you. That's from a dude named Fasold.
These people need a life. They care more about you knowing that your mic is something that they don't personally approve of than they do like going outside and like touching grass. It's just funny to me. Like, if you don't like something, man, just like don't comment. Just like move on. I'll like open
This person has to know that they
like,
suck.
I like open a video and I don't like the video, and then I just like, you know, I click the back button and I move on. Like, it's not even enough energy for me to remember their name. Like, I don't understand people have this vibe, this negative vibe energy. It's kind of pathetic. Jack says, I will say your mic quality is amazing.
Thank you. I get confused by that because I have a really nice microphone, and some people are like, I hate it. I'm like, why? What's wrong with it? No one else ever says this. In response to that angry comment, I'm going to randomly nuke another territory.
It's just every time somebody says even a single thing that annoys you, you just nuke a part of the Soviet Union.
The problem is, I'm really running out of places to... Oh, that's a good spot. Oh, I can't nuke that area. Darn it. There's a lot of places I can't actually do that. Well, I can, but it would have really would be a stupid thing to do. It'd be a complete waste of a nuke. Because it wouldn't... Like, there's nothing more to blow up. Like...
Kiko, what's up, buddy? Meow. Why you meow? What's wrong?
Oh, I guess that's a fine spot.
Honey! See, that's what my cat does. It literally just hit 3 o'clock and he's losing his mind. It's cursed.
Darkness the curse.
But
Will this area be an atomic wasteland after we're done with this war? Yes. Will we have won the war? Yes. So, worth it? It's not dissimilar from the Battle of the Bulge, I suppose. Oh, no, there we go. Now it's auto-saving. An Iron Man mode, so I can't save manually. That's what I was waiting for. I'll see you guys next time. I'm getting tired. I gotta